Hey guys, so we had like a little gab session about all of my picks, and one of them was this Smashball paddle. Is that what it is? Oh, Smashball. It's a Smashball paddle. Sorry, I have no idea what Smashball is, but I know that in my mind I see this as a wall pocket, and so we're going to make a wall pocket today. So we're gonna paint this. I'm gonna use Wise Owl and black. And then I have a recycled mesh stencil. These are huge, you guys. They're oversized stencils, and this one's is pretty much like multiple stencils in one piece. And I want to use this Hartford steam boiler image on here on the top. And then I have some burlap ticking that I want to use to make the actual pocket. So that's what we're gonna do today for our project today. So hi, my name is Royce Hunt Bell, owner and operator of Recycled Treasures. Let's get started on this piece, you guys. Start with a coat of black paint. I kind of want to reserve some wood somewhere, right? I think maybe I'll just put a piece of tape. I do have tape. Right over the top. Let's reserve a little bit of that wood on the handle. So for the part that we're going to paint, I'm just going to scuff sand it a little bit. Just to get rid of some of that top finish and to give my surface some chew. And I'm just going to just wipe the dust off from that. And I'm going to put a quick coat of black paint on there. I'm using my Klingon. This is a F40, I believe. And this is going to give me a nice smooth finish, even though I'm using chalk style paints. And if you're painting with your chalk style paint and you want like a super smooth finish, your misting spray bottle is your friend. So I'm just going to do a quick coat on here. I think I'm going to wipe this back, you guys. I'm feeling like I want to preserve some of the wood, but I do want it to be black. So let's see if I can get the best of both worlds. I think that's what I'm wanting. And I'm going to go in with a dry brush just to like smooth out any like brush marks or weird marks that my paper towel may have left. Yes. If I wanted to use this paint as a stain, I almost could, but what I would need to do is sand all of the finish off in order to be able to do that. But I think this is perfect. This is the look that I was going for. And it's almost dry. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to use this stencil. And this is a mesh stencil, you guys. The mesh stencils are really cool because they allow you to capture so much details in your stencils. I'm actually going to cut this one. It is a 12 by 18. It's a full stencil, but we're only going to use a portion of it today. And I'll never use the stencil all together. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this stencil off of here, so I don't have to wash the whole thing. I really like those fingers. So, and these are actually, I designed these stencils. These are recycled stencils. I was super excited to be able to partner with Icon Ink to be able to make these. And so in my holy imagination, you guys, I see the stencil being here and then the pocket being here on the bottom. So let's go ahead and get this stencil on here. I think I want to use a super warm white for this. So I'm going to be using Wise Owl in Mohair, which is discontinued, but it's my favorite color. If you want to find a similar color for Wise Owl, it'll be Restoration is the name of the color. So let's get, I don't need a ton of this. I'm just going to squirt a little bit in there. And the stencils come with a plastic backing on them. So I'm going to remove that from the backing. Eventually, I have no nails left, you guys, because I'm always working on projects. And the back is really tacky, so I'm going to tack this on to my piece so that I get it perfectly where I want it. And then I'm going to just really get that laid down because that's going to help me get a really, really nice stencil without any bleed through. That tacky backing on there. And these stencils are reusable. So when I'm done with this, I'll take it in the house and I'll wash it and I'll reattach it to this backing and it'll be perfect for the next time. So I'm trying to think, if I wanted like a really dark stencil on here, I would use a squeegee, but I don't know that I have a squeegee in here. I'm gonna try to use this, you guys. We'll see what happens. Usually I use a rubber squeegee. Oh, you know what? I can use one of these. I have my Ion Orca Design squeegee here, so I'm gonna use that. And I'm going to tape this just because I don't want the paint to go down here. So I'm just gonna tape that off so I get a nice clean finish. Even though my pocket's gonna cover that, I just don't like for my pieces to look like unfinished or messy. So I'm just gonna tape that off because I don't want to have any paint go places where I don't want it to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my squeegee. I'm gonna put paint up here, like away from the actual image, and then I'm gonna pull it through. So I'm just gonna put it in the different areas like that. I don't want a ton. Like any other stencil, you want to use a little product, and I'm just going to pull that through my screen. And I'm actually pushing it right down through the screen. I put that right on that stencil. Now with the Icon Art stencils, I have these and they're already done. They're designed for you. They're pre-burned. But if this is not your aesthetic and you'd like to be able to make your own screen stencils, you absolutely can. It's iconart.com. And if you go there and you use Upcycled 15, you can actually save 15% off of your order. And so I am just squeegeeing out any extra paint there that I have on here just to make it easy for me to clean up later. And it is so simple, you guys. Now I'm gonna lift up this stencil and I will leave behind this super cool image that I would not be able to get had I used a traditional stencil. Oh, this is gonna be super cute. What do you guys think? Yeah? I kinda like it. So let me hit this with my craft dryer really quickly and then we'll attach our pocket. Now that everything is dried, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put a coat of Wise Owl's 1 Hour Enamel across this bottom portion here. And this is gonna seal everything and ensure that it's durable over time. thinking, you guys, that nobody needs to know that this was a paddle for a game. So I'm probably going to decoupage the back of this before I take it down to my booth at the shop. Just a thin coat. And we'll take a few minutes to let that dry. And then we will cut and attach our pocket. So now that everything is dry, you guys see how quickly we're able to transform this? I want to put a pocket on the bottom so that I can put some ferns or some succulents in here. So I have a piece of this upholstery webbing, which I love, you guys. It's so rustic and it feels so industrial to me. So I'm going to try to fit it to size on this piece. Let's just trim it. And that way we can see exactly what we're going to do. So I'm thinking that, because I debated putting 2 pieces of webbing, but then I lose the whole bottom portion of my train. So I think what I'm going to do is just use 1 piece here. And so I'm just going to turn it over, you guys, and trim from the back. That way I can see exactly where I need to trim it. Or maybe I'll mark it. I'll do that. I'm going to mark it from the back so that I can see exactly where it needs to be trimmed. Maybe I'm going to mark it. Not with that. Let's try a pencil. Make sure you hold it, because if it slides and you trim it, it's not going to be perfect. Okay, so now I can see exactly where I need to trim it. So I'm just going to cut that right along. I'm actually like focusing on the outside of the line, you guys, just in case. So when I go to the thrift store, you guys, I always don't look at the finish, right? So don't look at the state of the surface of your piece. And don't even, like, just ignore any kind of embellishments or anything like that that's on your piece. If you just pay attention to the form of the piece, you'll begin to see all the ways that you can upcycle and make things that have been thrown away, make them useful again. We were laughing because we didn't know what this Smashball was, but apparently you play it on the beach, and we live in Arizona, so we don't know nothing about no Smashball. But today, this Smashball is going to be turned into a pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this with E6000, and then I'm going to align it with some hot glue. So the hot glue is going to hold it in place while the E6000 sets. So let me turn on my hot gun. My hot glue gun. I probably should have done that earlier. And I'm using a Ryobi glue gun. I really like it because it's cordless. All I have to do is make sure my battery is charged every time. And I'm using the Gorilla Glue Sticks. My E6000 is my go-to for my glue. But I gotta find it. I found it, you guys. So my tubes are always a hot mess, and you guys know how hard it is to like push the glue up to the top when you get low. So I just take my brayer, you guys, and I just like push all that glue up to the top, and then I'm back in business, and all my glue is up here where it needs to be. But I digress. So the E6000 is what's going to hold this on here really, really well. But the hot glue is what's going to hold it all on there until the E6000 sets. Because I'm a little impatient. Just a wee bit. So I'm going to put a dot here just so I know like where to start on either side. And then I'm going to put like a whole bead all the way around, because I'm going to stuff this with florals, so I really want to make sure it stays put. And honestly, I'm probably going to go in, you guys, I scored these, I scored a new stock of antique tacks, so I may go in and put those in because I think they'll look cool, and to help hold this on really well. So I have that bead of E6000 on there. Now I'm just going to apply some hot glue just along the inside of that. So that everything is held on until that E6000 sets. And then I'm going to take my piece and center that on there and make sure. The cool thing is I have a little leniency to make any small adjustments. I'm gonna have to trim that piece a little bit, but I'll wait until after this is all set to go in and trim that piece. I want to make sure I have enough slack so I can actually put florals in there. So I'm pushing this in just a little bit. And there we have it. I'll go around with my scissors and I'll clean up these edges and put some tacks on there. And then I can put some really pretty ferns in here, or even succulents would look good on this piece, right? So that's my first project, you guys, that I made out of my thrift store haul. Again, my name is Royce Hunt Bell, owner of Upcycled Treasures. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you're curious about any of the products that I use here today, you can find them at www.roycycled.com. I'll put the link in the comments below. I'll also put some links for you guys to find the glue gun and the webbing and your E6000 as well. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments and I will return back to answer them. If you like this video and you'd like to see more tutorials, be sure and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a blessed day.